So there is Fisher, Grant Fisher, and what a talent he is.
Yeah, he just kissed his bib there. That's for his wife, who's in a battle of cancer right now. But she did just run the New York City Marathon, so just giving her a big shout out here.
Reed Fisher, excuse me. And there, Hillary Bohr, he's a 60-20 athlete. He's actually the quickest athlete in the field, 35 years old, two-time an Olympian, so experienced. He will be tough.
He is so good. He's a steeplechaser, but now turning his attention to the roads. He's just a really phenomenal runner.
These fellas desperate to get underway because it is bitterly cold. You know what? If there was snow blowing across our picture, it wouldn't be surprising, wouldn't be out of place. And here is my bet, Andrew Colley for Zap Endurance, 33 years old, but he ran a fantastic race to win the Manchester Road Race last year. That was just in November on Thanksgiving Day, and he is, there's a sort of confidence about Colley.
I think so too. I mean, he is newly married, so he's got that extra pep in his step, but I also think he's just really been excited about switching things up, and now coming here to the half marathon, it might be the perfect distance. And then Clayton Young will love those hills, you know, 9th in that Paris Olympic marathon where the hills were fantastically tough. Clayton Young always smiling, having fun. Joe Klecker right next to him. I mean, there's so many names on this start line.
It's always such a relief to get racing. We are told 1 minute to go. These fellas are, many of them, stripping down as late as possible to their racing singlets.
So Joe Klecker to the left of Clayton Young, who we just introduced. He ran his debut half marathon just 6 weeks ago. It went well, but he's hungry for more. He's a guy that hasn't missed a world championship team that he's tried for. He's going for that today. Reminder, top 3 will be selected for the World Road Championships next fall. So he's in the middle there in the green. That's Joe Klecker. His mom's an Olympian. His dad is a superstar runner back in the day, was a superstar runner. But the list goes on and on.
But no pacemakers today, of course. This is championship racing. It's a very different beast to the fast pace-made races we're so used to on the commercial circuit. I say commercial circuit, there's big prize money today. 20,000 bucks for the winner. But Team USA vests, priceless.
It really is, but top 10 will gain some more money. And here we go.
They are racing in Atlanta on this cold February, March morning. Boy, it is March already. I tell you what, I came across from London here. I didn't bring nearly enough warm clothing for this. I hope these fellas don't suffer too much out there. Gloves will be very much the order of the day.
You know, it's actually pretty nice to be running. You can see that they have extra clothing on, which I like. A lot of times you sort of forget that this is a long race. So you do need to stay warm. A number of the athletes a few weeks ago ran in Houston, as we've been, and we're going to talk about that a lot. There's a lot of athletes returning from there, but they were a little bit cold. And it was about the same temperature. So to see a Hillary Bohr up front, you know, he's leading the charge here. He's got a long sleeve on. He's got his gloves on. So I think that they're going to feel good out there. But yeah, it's a chilly day.
It's about 36, 37 degrees.
It's windy.
Fahrenheit. It's windy. That's the killer too. Let's take a look at these leading women too. There's Sarah Hall, the most experienced in the field. Sarah Hall, fabulous marathon racer. Many-time representative for the USA in major championships. 41 years old now, but still going really well.
Yeah, she's had some ups and downs in the last couple years, but she's really showing herself. She ran a great marathon just a couple months ago, and she said she's had some phenomenal training. So she's excited.
And next to go is Frisbee. Annie Frisbee, the 28-year-old, runs for Puma. 10th in those Olympic trials marathon in last year. But Frisbee, well, she's a 67.5-minute half marathon racer. She could be the biggest challenger to Kalari's likely dominance.
Yeah, she's been coming back from a little bit of an upper hamstring issue, but she said the last few weeks she's really started to click, and that's dangerous. If you feel good, you never know what's going to happen.
Emma Grace Hurley for the Atlanta Track Club Elite. She's a local athlete, the 27-year-old, best of 68.26. She ran a 52.41 10-miler in the Cherry Blossom a couple of years back. She's a fabulous athlete on her day. Could she make the top 3 in that USA squad?
Yeah, she trained here for years, just recently moved to Indianapolis, but has had a phenomenal try at 13.1 miles. She's only done it one other time, but she's ready for more.
And Dakota Poppain, well, 68.04 her PR. That was in June last year into second place. Olympian too.
Yeah, she's coming here after running a personal best before the Paris Olympic Games last June. And she's excited to run. She said she always gets up for these big races, especially for national championships. And she loves that there's so many great athletes in this field. 3
fabulous marathons she ran last year. 3rd in those Olympic 12s, 12th in the Olympic Games in Paris, and then 17th in New York. And here is perhaps the lady of the moment, Wayne Kelati of the Under Armour squad. 28 years old, Kelati, an outstanding favorite, and that US record, second US record, must have given her so much confidence, Carrie, 6 weeks ago.
In her 2 half marathons, she set the American record twice.
Well, away they go, exactly 3 minutes behind the men. That big women's elite pack gets underway. Now, will Kelati use her dominance on paper against on the clock? She's a minute and a half quicker than anybody else in this field, because there is a risk to letting it remain slowish and tactical and maybe, you know, help giving other people a lot of hope and optimism through to the last couple of months.
This guy has just been on fire this fall. He's been doing so well in all of his races. He won the Dash to the Finish Line 5K in New York in November, and he's done well over 10K. And so even the half marathon that he did in Philly, I'm speaking about Mohammed, who's in 3rd, as I said. He didn't run very fast. He ran 63 minutes, but that was after 3 weeks of racing in a row. So I really think he's one of the guys that hasn't gotten a lot of attention in this race, but we need to watch him. He's very race savvy.
His PB is 63.15. Now that wouldn't normally put him in the conversation.
Alex Mayer on the right of your screen, kind of in that, I don't know, what color is that? A cantaloupe color?
Peach, nice peach.
Kind of. You know, he's one of our youngest guys in the field. He's coming from Oklahoma State. He ran great 6 weeks ago in the half marathon in Houston. And he, I think, is not one that's real known yet on the professional. In college, people know his name. But on the professional field, or in the professional field, he's a new and upcomer.
And it's great. He's one of those young fellas. He's never run for Team USA. Great track. He ran 7:43 for 3,000 last year, banging on the door of world class. 13:21 indoors last December, just a couple of months back. So he's in really good shape. And I like it when guys come to this, if they put in the hard work and they've got that leg speed, that turnover, it gives you a real advantage. You're nice and relaxed at this speed.
You see Andrew Colley's golden locks. I love that. His flowing locks are always such a good thing for us to have on screen. We can pull him out of any crowd. But he too, we talked about him on the line. You know, he's really got this range. He ran really fast when he was younger over the mile distance, but he's been building and building. He's a great marathoner. But, you know, I really like how he's been able to sharpen up his racing skills and just
15, something like that at 10K for the men. Bohr still testing them. He's continually agitating. They can, I mean, the effect he's having, and of course this is his race plan. The guys have never been able to relax in that pack because Bohr is pushing and pushing. 28:27 at 10K. A little bit slower than I expected after that first 5K of 14:06, but it's still quick racing, Carrie.
Yeah, and we haven't really talked about Teshome behind Hillary Bohr there in 2nd. He's a 2:10 marathoner. He's very good over the half marathon. He's working hard though, Tim. I mean, you can see, look how relaxed Hillary Bohr is right now. And Teshome Mekanen Asfaha, as you can see it on your screen there, he almost looks like he's struggling.
Yeah. Well, Bohr is asking all the questions, you know, and you don't go out in front like this and run hard unless you're pretty comfortable. So he's clearly oozing confidence. 14:22, that second 5K split after an Oprah of 14:06. So I think maybe the hills are counting for that because it's still like aggressive racing. And a little glance there to his left as he went around that corner. You know, he's really wanting to make an impact on this field. He's kind of wanting them to throw in the towel and start racing each other and watch each other in that second pack and forget about him. Now, he may come back to them, but he's trying to get that gap.
I think we're going to get to hear from a sponsor. I believe it's Amanda Vestry.
This is kind of what we expected. Kelati was a strong favorite in the women's race. The men's race was really hard to call. Having said that, Bohr is back in front. He He let them work hard up that hill, and they will have worked harder up that hill than him to get up to him. And he's back to the front of that men's pack, and it's becoming tactical in the men's race then. Now look, 4 across the front.
Yeah, for sure. There is that. Ryan Ford is the one that has that same outfit on as Andrew Colley. He's right back in there. For the first time, he's up in the lead pack. Alex Meyer off to the right. Ahmed Muhammad is in there. I mean, this on the men's side, we said it early on, it's anybody's day, and it really is.
Well, it's building beautifully, isn't it, for a stunning last couple of miles in that men's race.
So Taylor Rowe there in second position, and then we have Emma Grace Hurley off to her left, our right on screen, and then Amanda Vestry in 4th position on the women's side.
Well, Hurley is a great cross-country runner. Second to Kalani in the cross-country last year by 37 seconds.
Yeah, she is a really good cross-country runner. She said she wanted to wear the USA on her chest again, and that was her opportunity last year when she ran the World Cross. And I think that's what is really fueling a lot of these athletes. Making teams is so important and so exciting that, you know, all these athletes wanted to come here. But here we go again. Hillary Bohr.
I know.
It's like cat and mouse.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because the pack worked hard to get back to him. Whether he was going through a bad patch or easing off intentionally is hard to tell. But as they've got back to him, so he's kicked in again. So they're not getting a breather. Yeah. He effectively has had a bit of a breather.
And just drop her. She's trying to just kind of keep her within sights, and now she is trying to move into the lead. Let's see what Emma Grace Hurley does, which I like. She reacts to it, you know? She's right there. She's still awake. She still looks good.
Fabulous contest in both. Look at that, the 2 women banging chunks out of each other on the right of picture. To the left,
What'd
Alex
you just
Meyer.
say? Banging chunks?
It's a kind of heavyweight boxing match, come on. But Meyer, one of the youngest in this elite field, is running supremely. I mean, Alistair Cragg, we had a quick chat with him last night, didn't we, Alistair? And he looked quietly confident when he was chatting to us.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're both young. Both of Alistair Cragg and Amy Craig's athletes are in the lead right here. There's Taylor Rowe on the right, Alex Meyer on the left, and right now, Alex Meyer coming up this bridge and putting distance on Shadrack Kipchirchir. Hillary Bohr now just sliding into 3rd, but still hanging on.
1 mile to go in the men's race. Look, top left of your screen, 12.1 miles. About 4.5 minutes of hard running to come. And he's got a gap as Alex Meyer. He hasn't glanced around. He's just running with confidence, keeping his head down. There'll be some now in the men's race. The gap is growing to those behind him. 60 minutes on the clock. And Meyer within sight of the finish line almost, pouring it on hill. Looking quite superb, lovely, steady, rhythmic stride he's got. The gap back to the others behind him has grown, there's no doubt about that, over the last 2 or 3 minutes. He has finished like an absolute rocket here. As Alex Meyer, the 24-year-old American, 9th in Houston. He's going to be a winner here today, barring disaster in these last few meters. Great track racer, great marathon racer as well. This is the meeting ground of those 2 skills. Little glance over his shoulder there. That was not necessary. Nothing to worry about here because this has been quite spectacular. The time is going to be just outside the course record, but he is USATF champion at the half marathon distance. He runs himself into a USA Fest for those World Road Running Championships in San Diego in September. And right behind him, coming through strongly there, Kipchirchir and Bohr in 2nd and 3rd. They also run their way into Team USA. And Colley coming through. Is that in 6th place? Is that Colley?
Yeah.
Tough racing, but still down close to 61 minutes, those minor places. Meyer's time unofficially 60.48 there for the win. Kipchirchir 10 seconds back, Bohr a further 2nd behind.
Looks a little surprised, doesn't he? You know, he's like, whoa, I just did that, set a new PB on these hills in this kind of weather. It's cold, it was windy, but man, did he make a good move there. What was it, at about 11 miles? No, a little bit before 11 miles. He really broke it open after those huge hills and just had such, I mean, he looked like he had a lot left in him.
And he sets a PB by 3 seconds.
I know, I love that.
Every little bit counts.
But the excitement there, Shadi Kipchirchir in 2nd, had a phenomenal race as well. And then Hillary Bohr, you got to give it up to Hillary Bohr. He really put it out there. He was going for it early on, just surging left and right, really using the downhills. Wow, this is an
that men's race, 60.48. That is great running. And then we're being told that this course is worth maybe 90 seconds.
I know.
That takes you down to the low 59s for the winner in the men's race, Alex Meia.
Emma Grace Hurley really having a great race. I love how she's run so well. She's been very consistent on the U.S. scene. She won the road circuit this year, which means she placed in the top 5 for many of her races that she ran at different national championships around the country on the road. So whether that's the 5K, the 10K, the 15K, any of those kind of races, and she won that. So she won a big prize purse. I think it was $30,000 to do that. But today, it was all about coming here, hopefully, you know, being right up front as she is, and also making that team, who would be her second U.S. team. Also a good payday as well. First is 20K, second is 12K, on down to 10.
Yeah, great prize money here, isn't it? It's, even if you're finishing 7th, you're getting a couple of $1,000. I mean, it's, there's not too many races go that deep with the prize money.
Here we see Taylor Rowe up front. Again, as we said, 24 years old, new to the pro scene, working out now and living in North Carolina with the Puma Elite. Her teammate Alex Mayer just won the men's race. They've had a lot of success out on that East Coast North Carolina team, and you know, it's just been fun to see this young team really excel.
$65,000 that adds up to. You don't put your calculators away. $130,000 in total prize money here today at these USATF half marathon championships. This 19th edition of the Publix Marathon Weekend here in Atlanta has been a stunning success in these elite races, and the women yet to complete their circuit around the city. But what a run this has been from Taylor Rowe. Emma Grace Hurley has chased really hard, has lost a little bit of ground over the last 5 minutes or so, but she's an isolated second. But the glorious isolation of the long-distance runner is what is being experienced here by Taylor Rowe. Carey running for Puma team, turns in towards the stadium.
Watch the clock. Watch the clock.
Exactly.
We might have a new course record. 68:22 is a course record.
Well, her PR is only 68:48.
Yep, she's going to get a course
massive
record.
PR.
Oh my goodness!
Set a course record. She's going to smash the course record. It's been a huge improvement. Look at that. The champion in 2025 is Taylor Rowe of this Publix US Half Marathon Championships. Boy, oh boy. She came here with a PR of 68:48, and she's just lopped way more than a minute off that on a tough course in cold, breezy conditions. Fabulous second place there from Emma Grace Hurley too. She likewise has knocked a massive chunk off her personal best. 67:35 for Hurley in second place. Well, that is almost a minute off her PB. Rowe 67:22. That is astonishing. And if this course is worth anything like a minute or 90 seconds because of the hills, well, you're talking that course record, or that US record, 66:09, remember, it's Kaladi. And a brilliant third place there for Vestry, Amanda Vestry, 68:17. Vestry, well, she has run 67:35, not a personal best, but she makes it onto Team USA for San Diego, those World Road Running Championships in California in September. Great scenes of shared joy and success from these top athletes. 67:22. Well, the two winners share a hug there. Alex Meia embracing Taylor Rowe after that win. And there is Kaladi. McLean, a 68:37 for her. And that is great running as well. All these times quicker than we expected, you have to say. Boy. Venters at 69:03. Kaladi down in 6th place. Clearly some problems there, but what a debut that is from Jess McLean, 33-year-old in 4th place, just outside the Team USA spots. Venters, Kaladi, Frentaway, and Elwood closing out the top 8. And still they continue to pour across the line. Sarah Hall there, well inside 70 minutes. Tough day for Hall, 41 years old. She's still going strong. Her longevity has been